So we can estimate these things with the help of the above equations. So from this, what we have analyzed is a transmitting power from transmitter to the receiver PR we are going to estimate. So this PR we have estimated, not only PR and the total noise power at the receiver, as well as we calculated the noise power and the received power, then we can easily calculate what is carrier to noise ratio. So in such a way we can calculate what is carrier to noise ratio. This is the system design. Now let us understand this one, link budget, with few examples. Let us see example C-band downlink for earth coverage beam. We can analyze it much better. So as we know that there is a satellite, and this satellite has transponders. Let us see for a C-band of satellite, it is having 24 transponders, working with a bandwidth of 36 megahertz. And the downlink related to this one is ranging from 3.7 gigahertz to 4.2 gigahertz of bandwidth. And this downlink will function based on the other technology called circular orthogonal polarizations. So orthogonal circular polarizations is implemented to transmit the signal from from satellite to the earth station in the form of downlink with a frequency band of, that is, what is the total bandwidth of that one is 864 megahertz. For this 864 megahertz of bandwidth, the signal which is transmitted from transmitter passes on to the satellite in the transponder of a satellite. The signal will retransmit here after processing to the ground station with a link called downlink in the range of 3.7 to 4.2 gigahertz of frequency. Now let us see another important point. This is earth, and on the earth we have ground station here. Let us see, this is the ground station. Satellite is moving or orbiting around this earth, but the important point here is, with respect to earth station, if the satellite is subtended with an angle of 70 degrees, then there will be visibility to the earth station by the satellite, or by the satellite to the earth station. If it is beyond the 17 degrees, then the visibility cannot be there and satellite goes in other direction, so that the satellite cannot see the earth station. Therefore, we need, that too we are talking about global beam antennas. It is for a geostationary satellite with a global beam antennas. Therefore, the antenna beam width and gain are very, very important points in estimating the link budget. And also, the global beam antennas are approximately having 20 dB gain. This is earth station. From the earth station, this is the satellite. The satellite can have a visibility to the earth station if it is inclined at an angle of 70 degrees. Beyond this 70 degrees of inclination angle, the satellite goes into the shadow region and earth station cannot see the satellite. And so in satellite we use antennas which can radiate signal to the entire globe. Therefore global beam antennas are used, and those global beam antennas will have a gain of 20 dB. Now a carrier to noise ratio for bandwidth is to be calculated, and this can be performed in two ways. One is in a clear air conditions, and next one in heavy rain conditions. So here we estimated that a 20 dB gain is there for an antenna. Still, if we have a 3 dB or system margin that can be estimated, then still it can maintain up to a 17 dB of a gain by the global antennas even at the edges. It means this is the globe, an antenna is supposed to cover this area, that means this area. So we design this antenna and link budget such that, let us imagine here you will be having maximum signal. We design the link budget in such a way that here the antenna signal is very weak. Here we find a weak signal. Though here you are having weak signal, we estimate or we calculate or we design the link for the weak spots such that if an antenna is functioning, that means if you are calculating carrier to noise ratio at the center, we can have better signal. Here for an example, if you are having 20 dB at weak spots, we may estimate that minus 3 dB will be taken place. So a total of 17 dB is seen at this particular position. at the weak signals. Okay, an antenna with a gain of 20 dB is required, has an effective aperture diameter of 5.6 wavelengths. That gain G is equal to neta 4 pi d divided by lambda whole square, which is having a diameter of 0.42 meters at a frequency of 4 gigahertz. Now we have to calculate the carrier to noise ratio. The carrier to noise ratio is made at a mid-band frequency of 4 gigahertz. The saturated output power of the transponder watts, that is about 13 decibel watts. We will assume an output backoff of 2 dB, so that the transmitted power by the transponder is, already it is we are having 13 decibel watts minus 2 dB output backoff. Therefore, the total power in the transmitter now it is about 11 decibel watts is the second equation. Hence, on axis EIRP of a transponder and antenna is PT ZT, that is equal to 11 plus, already we know that the antenna is having a decibel gain of 20. So 11 plus 20, that is equal to 31 decibel watts. So the transmitter signal is a single 30 megahertz bandwidth along FM TV channel. The common practice for analog TV transmission, the receiver noise bandwidth is set to 27 megahertz, slightly less than that of 30 megahertz bandwidth of FM TV signal. So the receiving station antenna, so we are now considering one example of a receiving antenna, earth station antenna, having aperture diameter 9 meters, gain 49.7 decibels, frequency 4 gigahertz, and receiving noise temperature of 75 Kelvin. With this data, in a clear air conditions, let us estimate the gain to temperature ratio. That is G by T ratio of this earth station is, G by T is, what is the actual gain? EIRP 49.7 decibels minus the losses actually, that is 10 log to the base 10 of, what is the system temperature loss? 75 Kelvin, so 75. Therefore, we will be getting 30.9 decibel Kelvin. Now let us consider that the maximum path length for a geostationary satellite is 40,000 kilometers with a path loss of 196.5 decibels at the frequency 4 gigahertz, that is lambda 0.075 meters. Now at a C band, the propagation losses are naturally small. Therefore, let us assume that it is having a 0.2 decibels of losses in clear air. In addition to that one, a 0.5 dB margin is there in the link. Why this 0.5 dB margin is obtained? Due to so many factors, like the antennas may not be pointed properly, that means mispointing is there. The antenna is operating at another polarization, so polarization mismatch is there, and antenna degradation itself is there. Due to all these things, we have taken some miscellaneous losses in the form of link margin, that is 0.5 dB. So we have to calculate the carrier to noise ratio in two categories. One is with clear air condition and next one is with heavy rain conditions. So for reference to this one, if we have to design the minimum permitted overall carrier to noise ratio for this link is 9.5 dB minimum permittable. Now let us see, if we have a downlink of carrier to noise ratio of 16 decibels in clear air, giving a link margin of 6.5 dB. The link margin is available in clear air conditions, but will be reduced when there is a rain in the slant path. So heavy rain in the slant path can cause up to 1 dB of attenuation at 4 gigahertz. So which will reduce the received power level again by 1 dB and increases the noise temperatures. So what it means clearly, in heavy rain conditions, again the losses will increases a 1 dB in addition to that of our previous losses. So as the losses increasing and also the noise temperature is also increasing due to the heavy rain conditions. So from this topic, what we came to notice is how can we design the downlink and what are the factors that will influence the downlink design. And we have taken one example, and with that example we have calculated some values and estimated what is the total received power, and also the gain to temperature ratio, G by T ratio is also calculated. Thank you very much. And we and ours is a Kasigari Prasad, a learning, educational, enthusiastic, inspiring and motivating channel. I invite you to kindly subscribe to our channel, comment on the particular section, and share the information, knowledgeable information, to your students, faculty fraternity and to your family members. Thank you very much. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.